2018 Honda HR-V Review. The 2018 Honda HR-V is often a small SUV that's big on space and fuel efficiency. The 2018 Honda HR-V can be a muster of versatility plus a strong contender within the subcompact SUV segment. Despite its small size, it'll accommodate adults perfectly up front or even in back, plus there is plenty of flexible cargo space options. Just like the Honda Fit, the HR-V employs certainly one of Honda's clever innovations referred to as Magic Seat. You can lift and flip the rear seat's bottoms to generate a cargo area through the floor to ceiling that is perfect for transporting taller stuff like a flat-screen TV or possibly a bicycle. With all the seats in position, the area is surprisingly appropriate for average-size adults, too. Another benefit to the HR-V's diminutive engine is its fuel efficiency. It can be coupled with a 6-speed manual transmission. Even so, the continuously variable automatic transmission CVT is much more efficient overall, and it is required if you wish all-wheel drive. On the downside, the HR-V's efficient engine delivers lackluster acceleration, as well as the touchscreen infotainment system demands really your focus on use as compared to some competitors. The HR-V also feels somewhat unrefined with the amount of cabin noise present, which is usually a little unusual for Honda. Shortcomings aside, though, the HR-V is still one among the better picks for the subcompact vehicle, plus it offers decent value overall. Notably, we picked the 2018 Honda HR-V as certainly one of best small SUVs just for this year. What's new? The Honda HR-V receives no significant changes for 2018. We think you just like the HR-V's extreme level. It's a small price jump up through the base LX on the X. Along with it you get a host of modern conveniences, including keyless entry and ignition, heated seats and dynamic rear-view camera guidelines. The range-topping EXL-NAV can be a little really a stretch, though still inexpensive, and adds amenities including leather upholstery, navigation and satellite radio. But because of this class of car, the mid-level X definitely makes the most sense and carries a lovely price, so it is the one we'd recommend. Trim levels and features. The 2018 HR-V would be the least expensive crossover in Honda's stable, but thanks towards the number of features offered, it won't have to feel as if an Econobox special. There are 3 trim levels available: LX, X and EXL-NAV. All 3 models are powered by the 1.8-litre 4-cylinder engine, 141 horsepower, 127 pound-feet of torque, and either followed by a 6-speed manual with front-wheel drive only or even a CVT automatic front or all-wheel drive. Standard feature highlights for the LX include 17-inch wheels, a tilt and telescoping tyre, a height-adjustable driver seat, a 6040 split folding rear seat with Honda's Magic Seat feature, a 5-inch central screen, a rear-view camera, Bluetooth, along with a 4-speaker head unit with a CD player plus a USB port. The X trim adds a sunroof, rear privacy glass, automatic headlights, fog lights, heated mirrors, keyless entry and ignition, heated front seats, automatic climate control, dynamic guidelines to the rear-view camera, a passenger side blind spot camera, Honda's Lane Watch, a 7-inch touchscreen display, a 6-speaker speakers having an additional USB port, and Honda Link smartphone apps and integration. Lastly, the range-topping EXL-NAV incorporates roof rails, leather upholstery, a navigation system with voice recognition, an auto-dimming rear-view mirror, and satellite and HD radio. Trim tested. Each vehicle typically can be purchased in multiple versions which might be fundamentally similar. The S in this particular review use our full test in the 2016 Honda HR-V EXLW navigation 1.8 litres inline 4, CVT automatic, AWD. Note: since this test was conducted, the HRV have not received any significant revisions. Our findings remain applicable for this year's model. Driving. The 141 horsepower generated by its 1.8-litre four-cylinder is reasonably meagre by segment standards. On the advantages, the HRV's handling is sporty enough to generate some fun when available turns. Acceleration. The HRV is one among the slowest subcompact SUVs we've tested. It went from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 109.7 seconds. After lurching over line abruptly, the HRV feels weak, even during regular driving. When driving up hills, the CVT automatic is consistently adjusting engine RPM, that may get tiresome. Braking. The brakes are barely adequate power-wise, however the pedal carries a decent feel, so that it is easy to modulate when coming to a stop. In our emergency braking test, the HRV needed a rather long Jathan River Ridge distance to quit from 60 miles per hour steering. The steering carries a pleasant and natural feel into it. It relays enough specifics of what the front tires accomplish to give you confidence when you drive around turns. It's also a fairly easy car which to navigate a strict parking lot. Handling. This is usually a fun vehicle to push thanks to its quick turning and suspensions well tuned for compliance and stability. The electronic stability control system rarely intervenes on public roads, and that is an indicator of fundamentally good dynamics. Drivability. Full throttle acceleration brings vibrations through the tire and gas pedal, especially above 5,000 revolutions per minute. The gas pedal responsiveness isn't linear either, making the HRV seem jumpy and hard to operate a vehicle smoothly. These drawbacks may be forgiven if this made more power. Comfort. The 2018 HRV is considered one of the best tried qualities in the class. Seat comfort is mediocre, however, producing average scores overall. Seat comfort. The front seats are narrow and firmly cushioned. Lumbar support isn't adjustable. Taller folks could take issue with the possible lack of adjustability and poor legroom. The door and center armrests have good padding, though, as well as their rear seats are firm but comfy. Ride comfort. No vehicle inside subcompact crossover class is cushy. But the Honda HRV does much better than most, that has a completely livable ride quality. Only when you drive over big bumps does the HRV seem somewhat choppy or still ridding. Noise and vibration. At full throttle or high RPM, the engine sends a considerable volume of racket into the cabin. Even at idle at the stoplight, there's noticeable engine vibration. The tires are noisier than expected over most surfaces, but wind noise is impressively muted. Interior. The 2018 HRV's interior is a bit more useful than any vehicle interior from the class, using a nifty rear seat that may fold or swing up and out on the way. Rear seat occupants will likely be pleased with the level of room. Ease beneficial. All with the HRV's central controls are typically within the driver's reach, plus the steering wheel controls feel substantial and high quality. The lack of physical infotainment and climate control buttons and knobs is usually a huge minus, however. Getting in, jetting out. The front seat is at the near perfect height for slipping to send and receive, and also the roofline is high. Doors are large for just a vehicle this size, plus they open quite wide. It's more challenging to get in the rear due to the sloping roofline, small door openings and high-mounted seats. Roominess. Space for rear passengers is great. Average-size adults can in fact fit back there, that might be said to get a lot of subcompact crossovers. But the front seats lack legroom and adjustment range for tall folks. Visibility. Most on the vertical roof pillars are slim, particularly at the start, providing you a great view out. The rear pillars are thick, nevertheless the side windows are long, making for easier lane changes. A rear view camera is standard. The lane watch blind spot camera is standard on X and EXL Navi models. Quality. Although the inside looks nice, some on the trim pieces plus the functionality of a few controls aren't around Honda's usual high standards. Utility. Cargo capacity is great at 24.3 cubic feet behind the trunk seats or 58.8 cubic feet with the trunk seats folded FWD figures. With AWD, cargo space is slightly less. It has unbeatable versatility thanks towards the flat folding rear seat and flip-up cushions. Small item storage is subpar, though. Technology. The touchscreen graphical user interface looks nice despite having its slow and naff graphics. It's for us to make use of, though, due to the imprecise virtual buttons along with a confounding menu structure. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto would help some, but alas, the HR-V is not among the Hondas with this particular technology.